Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Kang the Conqueror will make his official MCU debut very soon in Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, even though we did meet his variant, He Who Remains in Loki, and the showdown between Kang and a specific lineup of Avengers is coming in Avengers Kang Dynasty, and that specific lineup is now coming into focus. By the time this video comes out, there is a good chance I will have seen Quantumania at an early press screening, but as of me taping this right now, I still have not seen the movie, so don't worry, there's not gonna be any spoilers for Quantumania in this video. Yet, as I've been rewatching the past MCU titles in anticipation for the dawn of Marvel Phase 5, I began to realize that one shared trait among many of the current Avengers will prove critical in determining how the Avengers will confront Kang in the next Avengers film, and which Avengers will be on that front line. And what surprises me the most about this realization is that the one thing I've been most frustrated about with the Phase 4 hero introductions, something I've been attributing as a flaw to the recent MCU era, might actually be part of a pretty clever design to these characters. One thing that would make them immune to Kang's wrath. By the way, when Quantumania premieres on February 17th, I would love for you to join me for a live breakdown of that film as I live stream over on New Rockstar's new channel, The Deep Dive. You will get a rare behind the scenes look at my creative breakdown process, and I'll discuss thoughts and theories with you in real time. So please subscribe over at Deep Dive NR. Okay, as we look ahead to Quantumania and Avengers Kang Dynasty, all we really know about Kang Dynasty is that it is coming on May 2nd, 2025. It'll star Jonathan Majors as some version of Kang the Conqueror fighting some lineup of Avengers. But we don't really know who the Avengers are at the moment. But the film will be directed by Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton, and it is being written by Quantumania screenwriter Jeff Loveness. So the DNA for Avengers 5 can likely be found in Shang-Chi and Quantumania. It's fitting then that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was the one Phase 4 title to actually show us some gathering of Avengers. The post-credit scene with Wang, Bruce Banner, Carol Danvers, Shang-Chi, and Katie reacting to the pulsing beacon that Wang discovered inside the Ten Rings. From this, I think we can now surmise that Shang-Chi will be included in the Avengers lineup in Kang Dynasty, maybe even lead it, depending on what kind of conflict they're facing, and that the Ten Rings probably have some connection to Kang. We know the Ten Rings are connected to Ms. Marvel's bangles from Ms. Marvel Episode 3, and we know from my interview with Iman Vellani last summer that the original inscription on the bangle was something implying a connection to Kang and the Sacred Timeline. Other than Loki, the only pre-Quantumania Kang Easter eggs in the MCU came in Moon Knight, a QR code in the final episode that took you to a 2019 Moon Knight Acts of Evil storyline in which Moon Knight and Khonshu team up against Kang the Conqueror, and an image of Pharaoh Rama-Tut, one of Kang's incarnations, on one of those thugs' jackets in Episode 3. Head writer Jeremy Slater later confirmed that there was a verbal mention of Pharaoh Rama-Tut that didn't make it in the final cut. Now, sometimes these sponsorships are me talking about hair care, but even to get caring about your hair, you gotta hang on to the hair you got, and that's what Keeps is for. Keeps offers clinically proven, research-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. 2 out of 3 guys will experience hair loss by the time they're 35, but with Keeps, you can get quality expert care without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. All Keeps treatment plans are recommended by a licensed medical provider and delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Each treatment plan comes with a full year of unlimited messaging, so you can connect with your medical provider about anything, anytime. Keeps has a network of expert medical advisors, prescribers, and care specialists to support you in making your hair goals a reality. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, Keeps has you covered. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/newrockstars or click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/newrockstars. That art of Rama-Tut on the jacket came directly from a specific comic issue from 2017, the Avengers Unleashed Kang War storyline written by Mark Waid. And I mentioned this before, but I'm becoming more and more certain that this particular storyline is the arc that they're going to be pulling the most from for Avengers Kang Dynasty, because it aligns totally with the multiverse logic laid out by Jonathan Hickman's Time Runs Out storyline and the 2015 Secret Wars storyline that Michael Waldron paraphrased beat for beat with Reed Richards' incursion speech in Multiverse of Madness. And this Kang War storyline fits perfectly with the weird way Marvel Studios has been introducing their new crop of Avengers in Phase 4. Let's take a moment to think about why the Phase 4 heroes have struggled to take off with viewers outside of Marvel's core fanbase. I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons, but I would argue the primary reason is that despite seeing their origin stories, we don't really know them all that well, or at least understand their power sets. I think we get them as people, their emotional struggles, their senses of humor, their personalities, something that these titles have characterized really, really well. But Marvel has just been weirdly vague about how their powers work, or the exact process by which they became superheroes. Like, think back to Phase 1. We got Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, an engineer in a cave, a super soldier, a failed super soldier lab experiment, and a Norse demigod. All these origin stories left a little mystery about where their powers come from. But compare that to the Marvel heroes now. We got Doctor Strange, Sam Wilson, Olsen and Rhodey, we know how their powers work, but now we got Vision, especially his white Vision form. This guy gained consciousness inside of Wanda's Hex. I mean, I think we get it, but there's just like a lot in that mix. Monica Rambeau, Photon, also seemed to get her powers by passing through Wanda's Hex barrier, but she also seemed to have a mysterious history before that moment that we don't know still. Moon Knight, we know how Khonshu found Mark Spector, but we don't know fully the implication of Egyptian god Avatar possession in the MCU and what the rules of it are. We do know the emotional trauma that Mark went through that created the Stephen Grant altar, but we still have no idea what trauma created the mysterious Jake Lockley altar. We don't know where Jake came from. Shang-Chi and Ms. Marvel are both powered up by a technology for which we've been given no information about the origin or the true nature. Ms. Marvel didn't tell us where the bangle came from. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings didn't tell us where the Ten Rings came from. Then there's Scarlet Witch, if she's still alive. Kevin Feige has implied she might be. Wanda went through several rounds of possible power-ups in her life, but as a girl, she cast a low-level probability hex to keep that Stark bomb from detonating, and we still have only guesses and theories on where she got that magic. Thor Love and Thunder introduced Hercules and Gore's reborn daughter Eternity transforming into Mistress Love, we think? Who the hell knows really what happened there and how long Eternity has been around for? Is it the same identity? And then of course She-Hulk introduced Hulk's son Scar, who according to the comics ages at a very weird rate, which is why he now appears to be a teenager despite being born probably a few years ago. And then technically, canonically, no one in the universe currently remembers who the hell Peter Parker is. Spider-Man is back to being a big mystery. So why is all this vagueness important? Well, in that 2017 Avengers Unleashed Kang War storyline, Vision calculates that in order to eradicate Kang from the time stream, they must get to the future Nathaniel Richards when he is a baby. Kang Prime, at the end of time, gets wind of this plot, and he goes back in time to target each of the baby forms of all the Avengers that are targeting him. All those Avengers get pruned to limbo except Hercules, who, as a god, has a mysterious origin. That is the key. Specifically, the Avengers who have known origins are the ones Kang is able to target. The ones whose origins are unknown or mysterious, like Hercules, they are spared and left in play. So think back on those Avengers I just listed off. The one thing all of them have in common is that they have intentionally vague histories. We do not know the exact moment they got their powers or how their powers really work. Like for Peter Parker, the MCU has never spelled out what spider bit him. That might be because the Kang Dynasty and their outcast who scripted the Sacred Timeline, He Remains, does not know how these Avengers came to be exactly. For all of them, it's kind of a haze. There's no famous, documented, singular nexus moment that Kang could track down and prune from there forward. And again, Moon Knight's Jake Lockley. If Kang doesn't know the trauma that created Jake, there would be no way Kang could prune that altar from the historical record. He could prune Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, but there would still be one altar of Jake Lockley inhabiting that body. An altar with a connection to Khonshu that could continue to fight Kang. So in Avengers Kang Dynasty, I expect all Avengers with known histories will have those histories erased and they get pruned into Kang's limbo, which, considering Secret Wars is coming, will become Battle World. Actually, maybe He Who Remains Void was the initial groundbreaking of what will one day become the playing field for Battle World. So our all-star Avengers will be waiting on the sidelines for Secret Wars. Meanwhile, for Avengers Kang Dynasty, the most secretive Avengers will be the only ones left in play in this game of mutual whack-a-mole with Kang. Kang Dynasty will be a phase 1 battle waged between the heroes and villains who have been most behind the curtains. And yes, I have been wearing our Quantumania inspired Kang shirt that you can buy at our merch store, nerdriot.shop, and support this channel directly. And another reminder to subscribe to The Deep Dive. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.